This is our decision to choose the unit of analysis. But how we are going to choose one? Should we choose all? No, of course no. So should we choose? Okay, if our study involves population of tiles, should we go to everybody in tiles?
No, sampling.
We just take
Sampling.
Yes. But our decision to perform only individuals of that is different than sampling, because sampling decides who are the people that we are picking up.
Yes,
Yeah, but the strategy, our strategy is to take individuals, regardless who are the
According to our research and the fund, sometimes maybe budget, sometimes it cannot be sufficient.
okay, and then time horizon. Time horizon means one shoot, or longitude. One shoot also means cross sectional. What do we mean by this? This means that if we do our experiments only one time for one time on the population, or should we repeat our experiments? If we do it only one time, we call it one shoot or cross sectional. But if we do our experiment more than one time, then we call it longitude. Okay? Okay, we give an example. For example, you are doing a research to measure maybe the air pollution. Okay? What degree of pollution of the air? If you just read the air pollution one time in a day, then it is one shot or cross-sectional. But if you get the reading of sensors for the air pollution, maybe in the morning and in the afternoon and in the evening, then we call it longitude. It is the same value, but in different time horizon. This is what we call the time horizon. Okay, if we are measuring the stress of employees in an organization, okay, suppose we have a measure to measure the stress of employees, how much work those employees they are affording. Okay, we can measure this stress in the morning, for example, and that's it. So we call it one shoot or cross-sectional. Or maybe we measure the stress in the morning, early morning, and in the middle of the work, and after that maybe at the afternoon. So we get 3 readings for the same thing. This is what we call the longitudinal. So all these things, time horizon, unit of analysis, study, setting, extent of research interference, research strategies, all these details are the detail of study. We should know when you do your research design. This is the elements of research design. How should I know? I can know all of this from reading the literature. When I read the literature in the same topic of mine, then I can conclude or I can get all this information. Okay? This is why we should read in detail. When we read articles or papers, we should read in details and we should get all this information. Maybe you cannot find this information clear when you read, but you can conclude, you can understand.
Oh, maximum of them it will be there.
Yes. Okay? Yes. So, we have also data collection method. We have many data collection methods like interviews, observation, questionnaire, physical measurement, or unobtrusive, means undefined. Sometimes you cannot define a clear data collection method, so maybe you mix some of them together or use different. Sampling design, this is the sampling, the probability Is it probability or non-probability? Should we take the sample just randomly, or should we take the sample based on some probabilistic function? There are a lot of things.
Their natural fork in organization.
And also this thing, from reading the literature, you will get an idea how people get their samples. This is why it is very, very important to read the literature, to read more than 100 articles. Because you need to generalize. You need to say, I use this method because most of people in the literature use it. So when you say this, you are generalizing. So when you are generalizing, means you are sure that most of the studies do this or do like this. So I do the same like people. Okay?
Doctor, more of these researches which is published must be paid. Must be paid money to download this research. We are getting some difficulty in this way. How to download files.
Okay, I showed them last time some ways to download. Actually, it is yes. Actually, it is not ethical, but you can use it because he promised, Dr. Badia promised to subscribe in databases like IEEE and Science Direct. But until that time, you can just use the Science Hub, SCI. I think you can get it in the article. Have you tried it?
I tried it. If it published,
sometimes you cannot. Maybe if you can try another time, you will get access. Just try that.
Yes, you can give us sometimes after lecture.
Yes. So you have to try many times. But you can.
Even published in IEEE also.
Even in IEEE, anything. But try in different times. For example, if you try now, then maybe you try in the evening. Because sometimes they block it. Sometimes they block it. Okay, the measurement, how to measure the variables. Operational definitions, items, scaling, categorizing, coding, all these measurement types, maybe we will study in the coming lectures. So from all of this, we move to data analysis. So data analysis is still a part of research design. So we are collecting data, we collect the data, we do the sampling, the measurements, and we identify or determine the research strategy, how should the researcher be involved, what are the study settings, the unit of analysis and time horizon. All of this goes directly after that. When you finish all of this, you move to the data analysis, which is the field for data or goodness of data or hypothesis testing. Means we can, by doing data analysis, we can get information, or we can get idea, or we can feel the goodness of data, or we can test our hypothesis if it's true or it is not true. Of course, data analysis is using statistical methods. This is AMOS. There are a lot of utilities in statistical analysis. Okay. So this is just explanation about this figure. As shown in figure 6.1, each component of the research design offers several critical choice points. Means in each component, from these components, you have several choices. You can choose the best or the one that it match or it fit your research goal. No design is superior in all. There is no good design and no bad design. Okay? And no one is superior and no one is not good. Okay? So it depends. Circumstances, and instead you need to make choices and create a design that is suitable for the job at hand. It depends on your research, on your job. Okay? So choose the best one for suitable for your job. Take into consideration the specific objectives. So all these things will depend on your objectives, research questions, and constraints of the project. Constraints, this is what we limitation.
Limitation, the scope.
Yes.
Limitation of the.
See how all these things are related. Starting from problem statement, then everything is related. Research design is related to objectives and research questions and scope, such as access to data, time, and or money. Because sometimes you may have access to data, and you cannot access to data maybe in another time, or maybe you have money. This is about constraints. Constraints could be in terms of time or money. Or sometimes constraints in terms of your ability. You cannot do it, or you can do it. Especially if you are doing a technical research. If you are doing a technical research or quantitative research, like, for example, developing or maybe enhancing some techniques, so you have to have a good mathematical background to be able to enhance some existing techniques or methods. For example, you have artificial neural networks. This is artificial neural network is a well-known method or technique used for classification of data. And you may find that this technique has some drawbacks in some kind of things. So you are going to enhance. You say, okay, I will enhance, I will improve this technique to do this thing. Then you have to have an ability. You have to have a good background in mathematics, because this artificial neural networks is based on mathematical modeling. And it is a heavy mathematics. So if you are good enough in mathematics, then you go inside this. But if you don't have, so this is the constraints. So constraints is not only on time and money, also your abilities. So try to choose the topic that you feel yourself you can do it. Don't choose something that, okay, I will learn it later.
Then you have to go
Maybe you
to.
have a background about this.
Then you have a double master.
Then you have to go to other to teach you.
Yes, or let someone else give him money, and then he can do it for you. And this is very bad. When you graduate with the efforts of others.
Constraints, scope, and limitation of studies are the same.
Yes, scope means the borders.
Limitation.
Limitations, what can this study, what cannot do.
Maybe
It is also the borders. Because, okay, this is the borders. Okay? So this study can do the things inside these borders. It cannot do the things outside these borders. So it has limitations in doing this. Constraints means it can do something outside here, but it's very difficult. It means constraints, obstacles.
drawbacks.
So you just draw your scope and do it exactly. Of course, you will negotiate with your supervisor about the scope. And he knows better than you which scope is suitable for you as a master student. Actually, in most universities, they have a panel. You submit your research proposal. This is why we ask you to propose a research proposal. This is why we ask you, okay, we are here doing a research methodology course. Okay? So when you prepare your research proposal, it is just for you it is a try for you. Okay, just try. Try to prepare a research proposal and we can see. But actually, when you submit your research proposal for your dissertation or for your thesis, it should be actual. It should be real.
As
Now we are teaching you how to prepare research proposal.
introduction.
And yes, and this one that you submit to me, or I can evaluate you after that, I just teach you or show you what are the wrong things and what are the good things. Because the wrong things you should to fix later when you apply or when you submit your research proposal. For you, you have to submit your research proposal to the center. I think as soon as possible, because you are now starting your dissertation or thesis. Okay? All these things should be clear in your research proposal. This is about research strategies we already explained inside boxes, which is experiment, survey, or ethnography. Ethnography means study the ethnics. Ethnography. Sometimes you do social study on different people from different ethnics. Ethnics means origins. People from Asia, people from Africa, people from America, people from Middle East. Okay, some research. For example, if you are doing a research on social network, like Facebook, maybe for Facebook, we can study how people be involved with Facebook. Maybe we can divide the people or the group of people according to their ethnics. We can study how people in Africa deal with Facebook, how people in Asia, how people in Middle East, how people. Okay? Case studies, we said ungrounded theory, action research. This is the extent of research interference. We said it could be minimal interference, moderate, excessive. There are some examples in the book. If you read them, you can understand them exactly. Okay? So please read. Contrive, this is study settings. Contrive, we said it's artificial settings or simulation. Okay? Non-contrive, the natural environment, or sometimes we call it real experiment, because it is natural, it is real, it is not artificial, it is not made. Okay? Where work proceeds normally. Unit of analysis, as we said, we have individuals, styles, group, organizations, sometimes cultures, and the time horizon. We have cross-sectional, which is snapshot of constructs at a single point of time. This is when we say you just measure something for one time only. So we call it cross-sectional. Use of representative sample means we just take this time as a representative to represent all the samples. Or the second thing is multiple cross-sectional. Multiple means we measure at multiple points of time. In the morning, afternoon, evening, maybe. Use of different sample. Here we use of representative means only one, but here in different samples. Longitude studies constructs measured at multiple points in time. Use of same sample or a true panel. So this is the three types of time horizon. It is like this, but the different is using multiple points of time with same sample.
The other is different symbols.
Yes.
Multiple cross.
Yes. Okay. Mixed methods research. Sometimes you use many methods. Aims to answer research questions that cannot be answered by qualitative or quantitative approaches alone. Sometimes your research is fake, it's in between. Quantitative, qualitative, you can take it from quantitative, you can take it from qualitative. So focuses on collecting, analyzing, and mixing both quantitative and qualitative data. This is the mixed methods. Is increasingly advocated with business research, usually with business research, financing and business. Allows researchers to combine inductive and deductive thinking. Inductive and deductive, I think we explained. in the first lecture what we mean by inductive